Hey everybody, Ronald Rich here. I'm kidding. It's Chris over at Dixieland Farm, and today I'm going to talk about a band that I adore. I still listen to, even though it's been 20 years. They've been broken up. You probably don't know who they are unless you listen to the Juno soundtrack, where they had their one song that sort of broke through, but not really. And that is the band, the Moldy Peaches. Moldy Peaches. The proper way to listen to this is a download from eDonkey, Kazaa, LimeWire, and preferably at a terrible bit rate, because that is what this band deserves for you to listen to. That's how they spread. And Moldy Peaches got Adam Green and Kimya Dawson. Like I said, this is a one and done. They did sort of release this album, which I'll get into. This is kind of everything left over, just and a comp. And originally you could only get this at a concert, and I think only one concert where they sold this. And my friend Tom, who you've seen in my record store videos when I go back home and visit, he's there, and he grabbed that for me back in the day. But Moldy Peaches, what do they sound like? Well, to first explain, they record on one of these things. Oh, there's so many cables you can't even see. And that is a 4-track cassette recorder. That is how they record their music, or did record their music. That's how Kimya Dawson, for the most part, recorded her solo CDs, which you used to be able to get from her at a show when she played, or if you ordered it via email, she would mail it to you. And then she had a couple of other albums that were, I think, put out properly, like Hidden Vagenda and Remember That I Love You, and Alpha Butt, which is, I think, mostly kid songs. Got a live-ish, it's not a bootleg, but this is from FMU, where a lot of this music played, recorded off of real audio probably, and then transferred to MP3. So not quite a bootleg radio show. But that they come from the music genre of Antifolk, which is a particular New York thing. And there's been a couple of incarnations of Antifolk. It's in the late 80s with bands like, I can't remember the band that Kramer, who started Shimmy Disc, was in with Ann Magnuson, who's an actress also. But that was one set of Antifolk, and then Beck, I think, was on the second wave of Antifolk, which was in the 90s. When he first was starting out, I should say. And then there was kind of a third, it never went away, but it had these peaks and valleys, and then the peak was right around 2000, and yeah, it was a lot of people, and it all centered around usually this one club, the Sidewalk Club, which has since closed. And there are artists like Peter DeZoza, who writes musicals. He's a lawyer during the day, and then writes these long musicals. Pro-choice and mental health, the Golf Wars. Then another guy, Steve Espinola. This is the way the CD would come from him, and he personalized, I guess, the title each time. And yeah, it's got his AOL address on a telephone number where you could call him. John Mars I met at a Steve Espinola party, so I was. So this is before lots of vloggings happened. There was an online website, Antifolk Online, and I used to do interviews and reviews. I interviewed Kimya Dawson. I reviewed Adam Green album. I reviewed another album. I think, I don't remember if I did a Steve Espinola interview or review. But anyway, yeah, so he was having a film festival. He invited me in his apartment, and he invited me over. And do I have any films? Yeah, I do. As a matter of fact, I was a student filmmaker at the time, so I brought them over, and that's where I met Biff Rose. Biff Rose, you know, from the song Fill Your Heart, which was on Hunky Dory by David Bowie. Well, he was kind of a free spirit hippie, think like a crazed Randy Newman, Mason Williams. I'm throwing out so many 60 references that nobody probably gets, but very out there hippie mindset. And he lives in New Orleans now, and yeah, Biff Rose. So anyway, at that party was John Mars. John Mars put on a music video of one of his songs, Danny Boy, which is off this album. And it was him, and he's just sitting down sort of like I am, and he's, you know, Danny Boy, you're old enough to wear your sister's clothes. You're old enough to wear your father's makeup. It starts going, and it's just crazed. Everything on this album is told from a disturbed person's point of view, molester's point of view, killer's point of view. And this was an abusive, weird, sexual incest, forced feminization point of view song, you know. And I can't even read you some of the titles on this. And in the video, he's just casually, and then he starts putting on lipstick, and then he's in a diaper, and as hip as the crowd was, even they turned on him. You could just feel the uncomfortableness, except for Chris, who was just laughing and loving what this guy is doing. John Mars, and he ended up, I think, moving out to L.A. He's got a band, John Mars and the Star Maidens, and I don't know how successful he is, but anyway. Yeah, so, and there's plenty more in the Antifolk, and a lot of the stuff was either self-released or they hooked up to Olive Juice Music, which was Major Matt Mason USA's record album, which is it was just a dude who just put out CDs, and you could just buy other people's stuff from him. That's all it was. Toby Goodshank, who was in the Moldy Peaches. I don't remember which one he was of there. He released a lot of albums, and the way Peter DeZoza described Antifolk was it's acoustic guitars plugged into an amp, and that sounds accurate. It's a lot of the way words sound together is more important than what it is, and painting pictures with those words. So just like with Beck, with Automatic Bazooty, what is that? You know exactly what that is, even though you don't know what it is, right? She looks so Israeli on that one song, right? And just loving how words fit together matters more, and that happens a lot on the Moldy Peaches. I left my wood paneling on the embassy coat rack. That was one of the lines off this album. But this album is also quite juvenile and revels in its juvenileness. But that's also because when they recorded this, I think they started the band when they were 15. Kimmy worked at a record store in upstate New York, and Adam just came in. Some of the recordings are from when they were a kid, mixed in with when they were in their early 20s. So it's got some of that. So there's the song Little Bunny Foo Foo is exactly that. Little bunny foo foo, bopping through the forest. That's the song. Just a cool cat in a small town, wasting my time at a wall bounds. That was a song like a fake rap by a 15-year-old Adam Green, and thrown in there with Lucky Number 9. Great lines in that song too. Gee, these hot pants feel great. I used to like to complain. On Nothing Comes Out, which was a Kimya song, want for a boyfriend, but it's so adolescent. I just want to watch cartoons with you. I'm just an ass in the crack of humanity. I'm a huge manatee. That's the chorus. I'm a huge manatee. Maybe we can ride bikes and maybe spoon is one of the lines. So it's adorable. But then they also ruined it by lots of dirty lyrics for no reason. And even the cute song that was on the Juno soundtrack, which was Anyone Else But You, gets spoiled by the juvenileness. It's like cute, it's just like a cute little adolescent kind of love ditty, and then for no reason you scorched up your face and shook a turd out of your pants. Which I guess a kid would do, right? There are two songs where they both sing at the same time, and they're singing different lyrics. So it's very much like the murder mystery, and the lyrics sometimes will coincide, and then they go back out again. And those songs, you're like, oh, I get what they're doing. This isn't that great. But the more I listen to it, the more I love that they did that, and it's genius how it works to me. I am just a fan. So anyway, again, this stuff does sound very raw. There's an MP3. No, like a video. It was like a CD-ROM video on this. MP4 is what I was looking for. Of them recording the album, and it's Adam shirtless with. He would dress up like Peter Pan occasionally, and he'd have that on, or Kimmy's just got this whole bunny outfit, ears on for no reason, and they were just in a cramped New York City apartment, and they're singing into a PZM mic, which was a pressure zone mic. It's kind of like a plate. You used to get them at Radio Shack. So he's just holding the thing, and he's just singing into that. Mardi Gras came and went. Well, my money has been spent. You know, he's just singing like that. One of the songs, the phone rings, and you can hear Kimya start to giggle because she forgot to put the phone on mute while they're doing a take. And all those mistakes are left in. One of the greatest, clunkiest guitar solos that is over the top for no reason on this kind of gentle acoustic-y, not played well album. It just breaks into it. Downloading Porn with Davo, good song. Yeah, Who's Got the Crack? Stupid, perfect. And wasn't so much controversy, but ill-timed. New York City is Like a Graveyard came out, and this album came out like right before 9/11, so it was a lot of people were a little, you know. Like I said, Tom got this for me. So much just everything else. I guess the band knew they were just never going to be a band anymore, even though they were becoming kind of successful in the area. Not huge successful, but I mean, they were picking up steam. And then that was it. Closed. Yeah, I've got some Adam Green albums. I didn't pull them all out. Adam Green, his first solo album or two were okay, and then he did Friends of Mine, which I think is a great album. I didn't pull it, and then the albums started to go downhill in my opinion. He moved to France, I think, and that was the end of it. Kimmy Dawson moved out west. She had a kid, and yeah, I don't know much about her. Just plain domestic life, and that's it. That's the end of it. She occasionally makes music. She just did a song about Black Lives Matter, and yeah, I mean she wrote it like the day of George Floyd's killing. So still into it. Can I play you a sample? Sure. Let's get the thing going here. You can hear the tape hiss, right? So this is what it sounds like.
Indie boys are neurotic. Makes my eyes bleed.
So I was saying about Steve Espinola, who he plays piano on this song, and this song is sort of about him, Jorge Regula, which is how I got to meet him. So I guess I had a friend, and then come here and play this. Okay, and then he comes in.
My name is Jorge Regula. My name is Jorge Regula. I'm walking down the street. I'm walking down.
And it's got some noise, junk. What went wrong? It's good. It's as much as taking the mickey out of what a record is than anything, which is what I love about it. But it is also good. It is rough.
Please don't tell me.
And here's the adorable song about Kimmy wanting to find a boyfriend as, I don't know, it may have been in her 20s, you know, maybe she was not looking for an adult relationship, I don't know. It's got a recorder solo in the middle of it, like Adam Green would play the recorder, I guess because that's what was given to school kids, right?
Just because I don't say anything doesn't mean I don't like you. I opened my mouth and I tried, but no words came out.
But there's definitely no artifice, no pretense. I mean, what this is what it is.
Just a cool cat in a small town.
So this must have been recorded when he was like 13, 14, 15.
In a hip town. Get down. I'm waiting for the sound of a new town.
I should mention they were the record was put out in Rough Trade, and they decided to go with Rough Trade because it was the Smiths label, and that is a perfect reason why you should go on Rough Trade Records, right? And I don't know if they this might be me mixing it up, but I wonder if there was like an argument whether this was the demos and I would imagine the Moldy Peaches is no, that's the album. That's what you have in your hands is the album. We're not re-recording. This is it. We're not redoing. Put out that. Adorable. Anyone else but you? It's adorable.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So, definitely the taped Xerox feeling of an album, which is exactly why I told you a bootleg download of this is appropriate, and I think they would agree with me. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. I talked a long time on this one, but I love the band. Take care.